Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine, even on a warm summer night? A shiver that makes you question if it's just the wind or something more sinister. What if love itself could leave you with that same feeling? This is a story about a love so strong, so absolute, that it turned into a curse, echoing through generations. It's a question we often ask ourselves. Is it a love story or a ghost story? In the heart of this tale, you'll find there's a fine line between the two. Mira, a vision in red silk and shimmering gold, was every bit the radiant bride. Her eyes sparkled with anticipation. Today was her wedding day. The air, however, felt heavy, weighed down with an unseen tension. The ancestral home, usually bustling with joyous celebration, held a hushed silence. It was as if the walls themselves were whispering warnings. A sense of foreboding hung in the air, a stark contrast to Mira's hopeful smile. The ceremony passed in a blur. Mira, now bound to Rahul in holy matrimony, retreated to their chamber. An ornate four-poster bed dominated the room, draped in heavy velvet curtains. Rahul, however, seemed distant. He barely met her eyes, his handsome features twisted in an emotion Mira couldn't decipher.
Rahul, is everything all right?
As the night deepened, strange occurrences began. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, and shadows danced in the flickering lamplight. A cold draught, as if from an open window, sent shivers down Mira's spine. The room felt colder, much colder than it should have been. Days turned into nights, casting long shadows over the ancient mansion. The once vibrant walls now seemed to whisper secrets of the past as the sun dipped below the horizon and the moon took its place in the sky. Rahul remained distant, his behavior growing increasingly erratic. He would often be seen pacing the halls, muttering to himself, his eyes darting around as if he were being watched. The once warm and loving husband had become a shadow of his former self, lost in a world of his own making. He was a stranger in the night, wandering the dimly lit corridors of the mansion. The darkness seemed to embrace him, hiding his secrets and fears. The staff would often hear his footsteps echoing through the halls, a haunting reminder of the man he once was. He would disappear for hours on end, only to reappear as the sun began to rise. His clothes disheveled, his eyes hollow, he would slip back into the mansion like a ghost returning to its haunt. No one knew where he went or what he did during those long dark hours. The staff spoke of a haunted wing in the mansion, a place where no one dared to venture. Whispers of ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds filled the air, creating an atmosphere of fear and mystery. It was said that those who entered the haunted wing never returned the same. Driven by a growing sense of unease and a desperate need to understand her husband's strange behavior, Mira decided to uncover the truth. She could no longer stand by and watch as Rahul slipped further into madness. Her heart ached with worry, but her resolve was strong.
I need to know what's happening. I have to find out. Mira's voice trembled with determination as she whispered to herself, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew that the answer she sought lay within the haunted wing, and she was prepared to face whatever horrors awaited her.
One afternoon, with Rahul gone from the mansion, she found herself standing before the locked door that led to the forbidden wing. Her heart pounded in her chest as she reached out to touch the cold iron handle. The air around her seemed to thicken with anticipation, and she knew that once she crossed this threshold, there would be no turning back. The air in the forbidden wing was stagnant and thick with the scent of decay. It was as if time itself had forgotten this part of the mansion, leaving it to rot and crumble in solitude. The walls, once adorned with vibrant wallpaper, now peeled and flaked, revealing the bare, cold stone beneath. Every step I took echoed through the desolate corridors, a haunting reminder of the life that once thrived here. Dust-covered furniture crowded the rooms, and cobwebs hung like macabre decorations. Each piece of furniture seemed to tell a story of its own, stories of laughter, sorrow, and the passage of time. The once luxurious drapes now hung in tatters, swaying gently with the draught that whispered through the broken windows. It was a place frozen in time, a snapshot of a forgotten era.
It was then that I saw her, a woman in a red bridal veil, staring down at me from a tarnished, gilded frame. Her eyes seemed to follow me, piercing through the layers of dust and grime that had settled over the years. The portrait was hauntingly beautiful, capturing a moment of both joy and sorrow. I couldn't help but wonder about her story, the life she had lived and the secrets she might hold.
The woman's eyes, though dulled by time, held a depth of sorrow that sent shivers down Mira's spine. They were eyes that had seen too much, eyes that had witnessed the passage of time and the weight of countless memories. It was as if she was silently pleading for someone to understand her pain, to uncover the truth that had been buried with her. She was beautiful, with sharp features and a determined set to her jaw, a stark contrast to the sadness in her eyes. Her beauty was timeless, a testament to the grace and strength she must have possessed in her youth. Yet the sorrow in her eyes hinted at a life filled with hardship and loss, a life that had left its mark on her soul.
An old wrinkled woman, her face a roadmap of time and hardship, emerged from the shadows. Her presence was both eerie and comforting, as if she was a guardian of the past, a keeper of the mansion's secrets. She moved with a grace that belied her age, her eyes never leaving mine. It was as if she was inviting me to uncover the mysteries of the mansion, to delve into the stories that had been forgotten by time.
You shouldn't be here. Mira's blood ran cold. The woman in the portrait, her eyes filled with anguish, seemed to lock gazes with her. Suddenly, the door to the room burst open and Rahul stood there, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fury. She was betrayed, you see, left to die on her wedding night. Her heart, filled with love and anticipation, turned to ice, and she cursed this house, this family, vowing to never let love bloom here again.
Rahul, his composure shaken, revealed everything. He was a descendant of the woman in the portrait. The woman, his great-great-grandmother, had been betrayed by her lover, left to die on their wedding night. Her dying words were a curse upon the mansion and the family, condemning them to a fate of solitary heartbreak. The whispers, the cold drafts, the feeling of unease, it all stemmed from her tormented soul, seeking solace but finding none. Mira, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and a strange sense of understanding, made a choice. She had spent countless nights haunted by the whispers of the past, the echoes of a love lost and a heart shattered. The old mansion, with its creaking floors and shadowed corners, had always felt like a place of sorrow. But tonight it felt different. Tonight it felt like a place of possibilities. She knew she had to confront the source of her torment, the ghostly presence that had been a constant in her life since she first stepped into this forsaken place. She confronted the unseen presence, the heartbroken spirit of the woman in the portrait. This spirit, once vibrant and full of life, had been trapped in a cycle of despair and longing. Mira could feel the weight of the spirit's sorrow, a sorrow that mirrored her own. She took a deep breath, her voice trembling yet resolute, and began to speak. "I know your pain," she said, her words echoing in the stillness of the room. "I know what it feels like to be abandoned, to be left with nothing but memories and regrets." With tears streaming down her face, she spoke of love's enduring power, of forgiveness, and of the peace that comes with letting go. "Love is not just about holding on," she continued, her voice gaining strength. "It's also about knowing when to let go, when to forgive, and when to find peace within yourself." Her words seemed to hang in the air, heavy with meaning and emotion. She could feel the spirit's presence growing stronger, as if it was listening, understanding, and perhaps even finding solace in her words.
Love's power endures, even through the darkest times. Forgiveness can bring peace. "You are not alone," Mira whispered, her voice soft and comforting. "We are all connected by the threads of love and loss, and in that connection, we can find the strength to move forward, to heal, and to find peace." She reached out her hand, as if to touch the spirit, to offer her comfort and understanding. The air around her seemed to shimmer, as if the spirit was reaching back, accepting her offer of peace. "Please let go of your pain." "It's time to let go," she said, her voice filled with compassion. "It's time to find peace." She could feel the spirit's presence beginning to fade, as if it was finally ready to move on, to find the peace it had been searching for. Mira felt a sense of relief, a weight lifting from her shoulders. She knew that she had done the right thing, that she had helped the spirit find the peace it so desperately needed.
As the first rays of dawn pierced through the cracks in the boarded-up windows, a soft, ethereal light filled the room. The darkness that had once seemed so oppressive was now being chased away by the gentle light of a new day. Mira stood in the middle of the room, feeling a sense of calm and clarity that she had not felt in a long time. The mansion, once a place of sorrow and despair, now felt like a place of hope and renewal. The portrait of the woman in red seemed to shimmer, her anguished expression softening into one of peace. Mira knew that the spirit had found the peace it had been searching for, and in doing so, had helped her find her own peace as well. She took one last look at the portrait, a sense of gratitude filling her heart. She knew that she would never forget this night, and the lessons she had learned about love, forgiveness, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The curse was lifted, the mansion fell silent. The whispers ceased, the shadows stopped dancing. But as Mira walked away from the mansion, Rahul by her side, she couldn't help but feel a lingering sadness. She knew that some wounds, some pains run too deep, leaving their mark on a place, on a family, forever.
The bride in red may have found her peace,